All right, welcome to JCE Co-op Just In. This episode, we're going to focus on fiber facts and myths. Today, I am here with Noah. Noah, tell me more about yourself.
Well, my name's Noah Liebenstein. I've been with the company for 6 years full-time now. Was around back in the original days for a while, but I'm one of the broadband technicians and live out in Big Pearl City, Illinois, but I cover a lot of territory for our folks around here.
Are you ready to help me crack some of these myths today?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, number one, fiber is only for gamers. Myth or fact?
That is definitely a myth. Gamers in particular like fiber because of the low latencies, but it's also perfect for streaming, working from home, online classes, video calls, telehealth, smart home services, but it is certainly not just for gamers. In particular, gamers do like it though because of the very low pings.
So basically, if your house uses internet, fiber helps everything run more smoothly.
Absolutely.
Number two, Wi-Fi and internet are the same thing.
That is a myth. The internet service does come into the house, but the Wi-Fi comes from the router, which we provide with our service.
So you can have great internet, but still have poor Wi-Fi coverage?
You can absolutely have poor Wi-Fi coverage depending on the size of your house, the building materials in your house, and particularly steel, or even stone fireplaces, stuff like that. But we have all sorts of different ways around that.
Number three, more speed always fixes slow internet. Myth or fact?
Oh, not necessarily. Sometimes it could be the router, could be the location of the router, could be some of the older devices, trying to sync up with the new technology that we use. So we have a fantastic IT department and fantastic technicians that can usually maneuver around any of those kinds of issues.
Number four, weather ruins fiber internet. Myth or fact?
That is a myth. Fiber itself is very reliable. Severe storms can still cause outages, if equipment or power goes down or tree limbs. Most of our fiber, we focus a lot on berry and fiber these days, but fiber optic does not get affected by lightning strikes. It doesn't get affected by water. It's basically waterproof. We've got phenomenal crews out there that are on call 24 hours a day for when we do have major outages. We will get on them right away, versus your traditional internet services, such as satellite internet, cellular, cable, anything copper related. Fiber optic is by far the best source of internet.
Number five, upload speeds do not matter. Myth or fact?
That is also a myth. Upload speed matters more in today's world than it ever has because a lot of people since COVID, have been working from home. Your upload speed really helps out your video calls, posting photos, sharing big files from work. Our internet delivers symmetrical speed. So if you sign up for 100 megabits, you get 100 megabits download and you get 100 megabits upload. Same thing for the gig speed. You get 1,000 megabits per second down. You get 1,000 megabits per second up. We actually have 2 gigabit and 5 gigabit packages, which are faster than most equipment can even handle. So upload speed is very important, especially particularly people that work from home.
Number six, fiber costs way more. Myth or fact?
That is a serious myth because I know all the competitors around here. I've been doing internet services for 20 plus years on and off. This is probably the cheapest internet in the area, not to mention the reliability, speed, performance, and, the value. Having fiber to your house actually ups your property values. So, there's a lot of myth about the price of fiber, but as of right now, since I've been around, we have free installations, so you don't have a contract. So that is an absolute myth.
Number seven, fiber can be hacked easier. Myth or fact?
That is also a myth. Fiber is more difficult to tap into than traditional copper lines, making it extremely secure. Probably the most secure way to transfer data that there is on this earth.
Number eight, you only need fast internet if you stream. Myth or fact?
Taylor, that is a myth. Every connected device in your house uses the internet. From smart lights to security cameras to garage door openers to thermostats to gaming systems, all that stuff uses the internet.
Number nine, router placement doesn't matter. Myth or fact? fact?
That is certainly a myth. We try to keep it out in the open. A lot of people like to try and hide their routers, in a cabinet or something, which sometimes we have to do, but having it out in the open and close to the center of your home is the most important part to not have signal interference, like we talked about earlier, like brick and metal. Even glass can affect it. There's several things that can affect it, but it depends on how the house is built. It all depends. Every house is different. If you have a finished house with a finished basement, then we have other options. And, we have mesh extenders and everything that we offer. So placement of the router absolutely matters.
Every device gets the same speed. Myth or fact?
That is also a myth. Every device, especially when you're talking about older phones, older laptops that have some of the older security settings and stuff in them, some of them only have 100 megabit capabilities. It's like driving an older car on a brand new highway. Even with, faster internet, older devices can only go so fast.
11. Fiber improves video calls. Myth or fact?
That's actually a fact. We finally have a fact here. So fiber dramatically improves video calls because of the extremely low latencies, especially if we have the capability to hardwire a device. Not always the case, but even with the Wi-Fi, either or, you're looking at latencies and pings from the 2 to 5 to 10 milliseconds. So it absolutely improves. And like with the upload speed that we talked about earlier, it 100% absolutely improves your video calls.
Number 12. Smart homes need reliable internet. Myth or fact?
That is a fact. Smart homes in particular, you probably have more connected devices than you even realize, from the easy stuff like smart TVs and cameras and thermostats, but also doorbells, smart lights. Like I mentioned before, garage door opener, they all rely on internet. The more devices you have, the more bandwidth you need, and fiber is built to handle as many devices as you can throw at it.
Number 13. Fiber slows down during busy hours. Myth or fact?
Well, Taylor, that's an absolute myth as well, because the way our network is designed, it is almost nearly impossible to, slow our network down. When you come to talk about fiber optics and the amount of data it can transfer down that tiny little glass cable, it's built to handle heavy traffic and much, much less likely to slow down during peak hours. And, with our traditional internet services, with a copper connection of any kind or satellite based or whatever kind of internet you want to talk about besides fiber optics, absolutely has the ability to slow down, and most of the time it does. Our fiber does not slow down at all unless there's something wrong with the other things we talked about, router placement, how many devices you have. If you're on our lowest package and you're having those kind of problems, you can always bump up. It's fairly inexpensive to get our gig speeds. It does not slow down. It does not slow down at all.
I'm going to skip ahead a couple questions because I feel like a few of these are repeating. Number 15. One person streaming always slows down the whole house. Myth or fact?
That's a huge myth. With the fiber internet connection, multiple people can stream at a time. You can work from home while streaming and gaming and browsing, downloading videos, uploading files. A lot of kids these days, and not just kids, lots of adults too, do a lot of video gaming. And anymore, you don't even purchase a disc from the store. You download the video game right onto your PlayStation, your Xbox, whatever, and it doesn't slow anybody down. You can just keep rocking and rolling all day long.
So when all the kids get home from school and everybody's home from work at the end of the day, there's no lags in their system?
Not with our service, no.
Number 16. Fiber uses light to send information.
That is a fact. Your internet actually travels in pulses of light through tiny strands of glass cable at the speed of light. That's the advantage of fiber optics, is the amount of data you can push through using laser light technology versus, copper cables, which obviously travel with voltages. There's no doubt about it. There's no other faster source of internet on this planet, whether you're JCE Co-op or whoever. Fiber is by far the fastest to send through the light levels.
Number 18. Rural internet has to be slow. Myth or fact?
That's a myth. That's definitely a myth. With fiber in rural homes, farms, businesses, it doesn't matter if you're in town or like earlier today, I was about 2 miles back in a lane where nobody would even know there was a house there. And still, I hooked them up today and they just could not believe the difference. So that's definitely a myth.
I've been hearing from some of our members who have moved in from cities saying that they don't even have fiber internet back in the city where they're from. So they do love how connected we are out here in the rural area.
Yep, I hear that all the time, Taylor. I hear that. And there's a lot of second homes in this area, in particular Joe Daviess, Carroll County. And, we kind of touch a little part of Stevenson County now too, and we're moving into Whiteside County, but there's a lot of second homes out in your Lake Carrolls and your Galena territories, your Apple Canyon Lakes. And yeah, it's incredible that the amount of feedback we get on the positivity of having fiber internet service way out in rural Northwest Illinois before these people in the city even have it. So yeah, that's an incredible thing to have.
You already touched base on this a little bit, Noah, but number 19, fiber increases your home's value. Myth or fact?
That is an absolute fact. Yeah, we touched on it earlier, but the statistics don't lie. Studies have found that having access to fiber on your property may actually increase your home's value up to 14%. It helps strengthen the local economy, but it supports economic growth, attracting businesses, people wanting to build subdivisions, whatever. However, it absolutely increases your property value.
And our last question on fiber facts and myths. Fiber, cable, DSL, satellite, and wireless internet are all basically the same thing. Fact or myth?
That is a huge myth. We'll just start with cable because cable is one of the biggest providers out there. With cable, they have multiple junctions in the ground. They have multiple junctions everywhere. When you're dealing with fiber, almost everything is directly spliced all the way back to the main cabinets that we service. So cable, DSL, DSL was a thing of the past. It was good for back when we just got on MySpace, maybe eBay here and there. This is way before we were working from home. DSL was popular mainly because people had their landlines and didn't want to lose their phone number, wanted to keep their landlines, which I may add that, we do actually service and install a lot of business and residential phones still to this day. So, satellite internet, most people have had satellite internet in the rural areas. I don't even have to talk about it because they know how not so good it has been for multiple years. I myself used to install satellite internet, which is fine for people that have no other option. But now we're on, to the 21st century, and here we are putting fiber in these people's houses. So satellite internet's probably one of the worst you can get out there. It's getting better, but it doesn't compare. Still, none of this compares to fiber optics. It's not even really in the same encyclopedia, in my opinion.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Noah. Do you have any major facts or myths that you would like to add to this today?
Well, thanks for having me on. We pretty much summed everything up. I mean, fiber itself, if somebody takes just a little bit of time that's hesitant to switch to fiber, do a little bit of research on Google. All the stuff that we talked about today, all the myths, all the facts, it's all true. There is no better source of internet on the planet than fiber optics. We've got a phenomenal group of technicians, all the way from the techs, all the way up to the management, to the planning, to the zoners. I mean, there's a lot of people involved with this. There's a lot that goes on. But behind the scenes with their sales team, with Katie Herrig, and Taylor does a lot of our marketing stuff. But I mean, there is a tremendous amount that goes into this, and I want to give a lot of props to all the guys out there doing the finishing product, including our foreman, our outside plant tech, our construction crew, our contractors that are out there working tirelessly to get this stuff buried in the ground. It's a big project, and I love working here, and I'm pretty sure everybody else does too, as far as I know.
If you have any fiber questions or myths that you would like us to tackle, please submit your questions and send it our way. And we will see you next time on JCE Co-op Just In. Thank you.